Hello, hello, hello. This is Attorney Mike Gravel coming to you from Chicago as usual. And today we've got a theme. The theme is attitude adjustment. And it's pretty cool. I love it when we have a theme. I don't know. It just gives me a purpose. We also have updates. We have 2 updates and 2 attitude adjustments. And it's good stuff. So let's get this party started, shall we?
Court calls case, People versus Jonathan Smith. Here. Oh, he's here.
Okay, so here's our first update. Jonathan Smith is a guy. I actually thought ahead and put a link in the description below to the prior video. It's called Lock Me Up. At least that's what the thumbnail says. And he asked the judge to lock him up last time, and judge refused to do it. And he's back, and let's see if he's made any payments.
Is he a pencil? This is a show cause. Mr. Smith?
Yes, sir.
This is a show cause. You owe fines and costs. You want to be represented by an attorney on this?
No.
All right. You owe $795 on one of your cases. And on your other case, you owe $225. How are we going to get this paid?
I'm going to have to get back on the payment plan. I told Alexis last time we spoke my situation, so I told her that I wouldn't be able to make the payment. So she said she's going to have to refer me back, but now I'm back in a more stable position to process my payments now.
Awesome.
So did you just miss one payment or what happened?
I set the arrangement up with her and I didn't have the money to pay it. So I don't know if it was 1 or 2.
Love it.
All right, here's what I'm going to do. I want to trust you. I'm going to refer you back to collections. You need to start paying on it. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't want to come back and see me because then we're going to have a problem.
I told you to lock me up, Judge. That would have been so much easier.
You want me to lock you up?
On weekends?
No, see, you don't get to choose.
Why don't I?
Well, you don't get to choose that it's going to be weekend. If I lock you up, you're just going to do straight time. So I got 93 reasons why you don't want to do it that way.
Okay.
You got it? Because I had to yell at you about asking me to lock you up. I remember. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just know my situation and I don't want to make it seem like I'm playing with the courts. Like,
if I think you're playing with me, ask anybody that has. That doesn't look good at all. That turns out really bad. And I wouldn't be doing it this way.
I'm going to shamelessly plug my video. Judge Simpson, don't play. An actual quote from a defendant. It's good stuff. Check it out.
okay.
I'm just you, and you know that about me. I don't know. That's not the way I work. All right, Mr. Smith.
Yeah.
I referred you back over to collections. Get it done.
Okay. I'll call.
All right. Take care.
Okay, Annie is asking very nicely for you to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification. And if you ignore Annie, you do realize that is considered capital felony treason.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's our first update down. No payment, nothing happening. But Mr. Smith does show up to court, and judge is nice to him. I think he'll get there. Who sent me there? Lauren, not this Lauren. We discussed it in the chat. I believe her name is Lauren, the pet lover. She sent me down that path. Or is it KDG? I don't know. One of them. Somebody sent me this. I think KDG sent me this. Recorded, by the way. Thank you very much. This is an update in front of the guy who's got like multiple charges in front of Judge Simpson. Here he is in front of Judge Fink. Oh, he's learned nothing.
Did he see Magistrate Nelson this morning? He had not seen him when we met this morning around 10:30.
Welcome aboard.
So he'll see Magistrate Nelson tomorrow.
Okay.
What's your name, sir?
James Johnson.
All right, Mr. Johnson. I believe you're being held in the jail without bond on something. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. But I
Okay.
didn't.
I'm only asking about because of your contact information. I'll go ahead and update your email and your phone number. I don't know if this is, I'll make sure those things are in the file, but I just wanted to verify that my understanding is correct. This is State of Michigan versus James Johnson.
Yeah. James Johnson is a content machine. He is in court literally every day. It's like a full-time job for him.
22F11199. Ms. Reed, I've received a petition requesting a court-appointed lawyer. I will sign that. You may proceed when you're ready.
Thank you. Sylvana Reed, Assistant Public Defender with and on behalf of Mr. Johnson for the purposes of this arraignment only. He would like to ask for appointed counsel outside of our office.
Okay, so Mr. Johnson, I can't do that. I only can appoint the public defender's office. And then if there's a problem with that and you need to have a different lawyer, then that has to be taken up with the judge at the next court date.
I mean, this guy picks up charges left and right. He really is impressed with Sam Bernstein. He hired him on one. But he just doesn't think the public defender can handle this one. My guess is the guy making that call is Judge Simpson, and we'll see.
Okay, so you that is still available to you to have a different lawyer, not the public defender, represent you. It's just not something I can do today. So we'll let Ms. Reed go ahead, and then you'll have to make that request
And Ms. Reed,
at a later date, okay?
okay, and Ms. Reed, did you submitted that paperwork correctly?
Yeah, I told him I would follow up and make sure that at least our office was aware and moving forward with that.
Okay,
So, yeah.
sounds good. So we've done everything that we can do regarding that at this time, Mr. Johnson.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice appropriate Michigan reference there, Mean John.
Mr. Burdell, did you want to say something regarding bond?
Yes, Your Honor. This is a very serious case.
But threatening.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, not right now. If you need to speak to me, I'll make sure you have a chance, okay?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. The people are taking this case very seriously. This case stems from a domestic violence-related MDOB case. And so we are asking the court to pretty much follow the people's bond recommendation form. We are not asking on our form for any kind of financial component. We are leaving that to the court's discretion as to what if or the amount you're going to set. We are asking for a GPS tether with a hot zone listed in the form. We're asking for no contact with Ms. Henderson due to the nature of the charges. We're asking for no firearms based on the fact that it is domestic related. He also has a number of current pending cases as well, Your Honor. He has, as the court stated, he is being held currently without bond until September 7th on a felony case coming out of the circuit court. He has a number of delivery manufacturer cases. LawNet is involved on those cases, Your Honor. He has, he's a huge risk to himself, Your Honor. He can't stop committing crimes. He has an OWI pending with alcohol and drugs involved. He has a number of VOPs up. And frankly, Your Honor, I mean, he's looking at, on his felonies, he's time. I have nothing further to add at this time.
All right, thank you.
Can I speak on my behalf?
Sure.
Or Ms. Reed, or would Ms. Reed, would you allow me to speak on my behalf?
Just don't discuss any of the facts of the case. We don't want to get into any thing that
You already
may-
know, right? You know that, Mr. Johnson, that you should not be making anything that looks like an admission. I will cut you off if you're talking to me about what happened in this case, because that's dangerous to you and not a good idea. But if there's something else you want to say, go ahead.
Yes.
I would have loved it if she said, I don't know. I mean, apparently I'm not good enough to represent you. You decide yourself. Of course you can't, but he deserves it.
I have a number of alleged charges that are pending, as the prosecutor Burrell said. I'm not convicted on any of those charges right now. He said also that I am a danger to myself. I am not a danger to myself, be it I am not suicidal. You know what I'm saying? That would be the only danger to myself.
Even without being suicidal, your propensity for crime and stupid behavior, you are a danger to yourself and others.
So, the violation or this charge stems from malicious destruction of a building property less than $200. Yes, I have a $25,000 cash bond on that charge as well. I have as you know, I have the VOP for alleged armed robbery. That case was dismissed in court on Tuesday without prejudice. That's the reason for the violation. That is the reason that I am being held on a no bond in here on the violation. They had took the bond away.
So, okay, so that's two separate things. A violation of
Christopher, it really does beg the question, what is your point?
probation with no bond.
Well played.
Yes.
And an armed robbery that was dismissed. That's two, okay,
Violation stems from the armed robbery,
okay.
which is now dismissed. My court date is, like he said, is this next month, on the 7th, I believe.
Okay.
Contact, he's saying that he want no contact. That contact is from the alleged whatever, malicious destruction of property, which in that case, the victim, which is Aisha Henderson Powell, stated that she did not want to proceed with charges, which allegedly, you know, I violated that bond by contacting her, and they are.
But that case is the one that's got a $25,000 bond on it that's still open.
Yes, and she stated in court that she did not want to proceed with those charges, and the prosecutor, Mother Caitlin Kirby, decided to place these charges because, I guess, of alleged phone call that we phone, but it was no threatening, no intimidating.
Okay, now you're talking about,
Okay.
the charges here, so let's not do that.
This case stems from
I know what the case stems from. I took the testimony.
okay, and I miss it.
All right, but let me ask you.
All right, I'll actually answer this. With prejudice means you can't you can't refile it, and without prejudice means you can refile it. That's the practical meaning of it. So if you're a defendant, you want a dismissal with prejudice. If you're a plaintiff or a prosecutor, you would like without prejudice so that you can refile if necessary.
Question, Mr. Johnson.
Ma'am.
One second.
Either no bond on a felony
Yeah.
probation case if it doesn't go back to court.
So you are not able to leave the jail until September 7th at the soonest, when you see Judge Conlin on your violation, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So what I usually do, and
Yeah,
what I'm
almost.
asking you is whether this makes sense. I usually set a bond then.
Yes,
So you can get
He
some.
has asked for a PR bond on this,
Okay.
even
so
though I did explain that.
I don't,
okay.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
If I set a bond for you on this file, then there is a law that says that if you're convicted on this, you will automatically get credit for the time served.
Right, which Mrs.
Yeah, okay,
Mrs. Reed explained that as well.
yeah.
I agree.
So
And
I understand that you want a PR because PR says something to you about the
Really
case,
does.
but in
I think
this
also,
situation, it does not help you to have a PR.
I
yes,
think his concern was being able to be released as soon as
Yeah, right.
possible.
Yeah.
And not have to wait for another
Simpson
court
on
date.
this before September 7th.
right, and I know I see Simpson on this case, which honestly, if you want me to be quite frank, me and Judge Simpson has a bad report, you know, and
Yeah.
If you want me to be frank. Well, please do. I mean, you are in court. And Judge Simpson is so nice to you, it's ridiculous. I mean, he's not throwing the law out the window, but he's nice to you. You guys had a nice chuckle the other day. I have a video on it. It's fantastic.
I have two malicious destruction. I didn't even have
Yeah, okay.
probation. He got me at $50,000 on two
Yeah.
misdemeanor charges, and then he got me on one of the misdemeanor charges. I'm already almost pretty much maxed out on the time, on pretty much both of them, and he's still setting them at $50,000 cash bond. Like no, I'm not worried about time being credited.
I'm gonna set a bond for you.
Your Honor, if I may just
Yeah, go
briefly
ahead,
before.
Mr. Brunel.
So I would like to mention, there are 6 violations coming from Judge Conlon, and none of those are involving the dismissed case.
Yeah,
I understand. I know.
Okay.
Yeah, I got that. Okay. So here's the other thing, Mr. Johnson, is
Yeah, prosecution, don't worry, you're winning. Don't like it's good for him to point it out, but she's like, got it.
there's a law in Michigan, compiled laws 765.6A. That law requires, it has the word shall in it. It's not permissive, it's mandatory, that if a person has 2 or more felony convictions within the previous 5 years of a new charge, then
She's so nice. She goes through all this about how she doesn't have a choice and she has to, and then she slides in, but still in this sweet sort of feminine way. She slides in, but if I did have a choice, I'd still hit you with a bond.
bond is required.
Okay.
So we've got 2 reasons why, setting aside anything about danger to the community or flight risk or any of that, there are 2 good reasons, one mandatory and one that is just kind of my general policy, why a bond makes sense in this case. So I'm going to set your bond at $5,010%.
Okay.
So that is small enough that if all your other stuff gets cleared up and that's still this bond, you'll be able to get out.
Okay. Now, on this bond, because once I like I said, I do go back to court on the malicious building and everything. Mrs. Henderson appeared in court on that day and asked for the court to not have a no contact order due to we have a child together.
Yeah.
I'm asking for that same no contact order not to be.
I'm not gonna do that, and I'll tell you why. Number one, I know you have no contact orders in your other cases. So
Okay.
you already can't contact her. Doesn't matter if I tell you you can, because you still can't.
Right.
I'm
Okay.
not able to,
Change that.
right. I'm only setting a bond on this case. I'm not changing anything Judge Simpson has said. So that's the first reason. And the second reason is that what you're charged with in this case.
Yeah, that's funny. He keeps trying to dump on Judge Simpson, and it's not. She knows Judge Simpson well. They're judges in the same county, okay. And my guess is, although I don't know, she has respect for him, and they're probably friendly with each other. Nonetheless, she's not going to step all over another judge who's making reasonable calls on this. It's just such a horrible path to go down.
Malicious prosecution, honestly, and I got a lawsuit coming.
Yeah. And it's witness intimidation by you're accused of contacting Miss Henderson, and so
let me tell you what I think about his malicious prosecution claim. Generally speaking, when you have multiple charges going and you're going to be convicted on a bunch of them, that's not going to succeed.
Doesn't help you at this point to have contact with her. That is actually going to create harm for you. And I know you want to talk to her about your child, and I get that. I have children. I understand.
My son's birthday this week, and I was talking about they maliciously prosecuted me with this felony on.
I understand that you would really. That you want, that's something that you want, and you want it for reasons that are not about this court case. I totally get that. But my opinion as a person, as well as the magistrate, is that it is actually more harmful than good for you to have contact with Ms. Henderson right now. So I'm ordering no contact with Ms. Henderson. Okay. I know you don't like that. That's okay with me. So I'm not going to put any other conditions on. I know the prosecutor's asking for a GP. You're going to see Judge Simpson on this case, and maybe someone else even before you can get out. So I'm not.
Henderson will probably be at this court date at my probable cause anyway. So it doesn't.
So yeah. So this is not your first rodeo. You know how things are going to go down. But I think right now the protections I understand that it seems insane for me to be saying I'm giving you restrictions and a bond and that's for your own good, but I am saying it because I think it's true. Okay, so 5,000, 10% on this, no contact with Aisha Henderson.
Okay.
And the probable cause conference will be next Thursday, August 18th at 9 a.m.
In front of who? Simpson,
In
probably.
front of Simpson, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Now I'm going to tell you one more thing, Mr. Johnson, just so you understand the lay of the land.
You said
Right now, the policy is that if you violate the bond that I've set, you're going to be held without bond. So just so you know, that is the current court policy, not mine personally, but 14A1. That's the current policy. And so you just need to know that is what is likely to happen if you violate the bond.
Yeah,
Ms. Henderson. Okay.
She watching the court date though right now, so.
Okay. All right. So that is where we are on this. I don't think there's anything else we need to discuss. I'm not going to go through all of the other conditions because, like I said, you're going to be in custody for some time and see many judges before anything else happens.
Yeah.
All right. Good luck, Mr. Johnson. I think we're all set.
Tell the prosecutor. Yeah, never mind. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Reed.
You're welcome.
You too, prosecutor. Thank you.
Thanks, defense attorney that I'm trying to fire. Thanks, prosecuting attorney who's trying to put me in jail. Peace out.
You got who for me?
All right. I think we're done. Yeah.
That was not too difficult.
Get stuff. Yeah.
Court calls the case, People versus Chandler.
All right, we've gone through the updates. We're now into the attitude adjustments. This one is actually pretty interesting and pretty charming.
Langston.
Christine Rodriguez, this is a public defender on behalf of Mr. Langston. Mr. Langston, can you state your name, please?
Did anybody forget? He's not here. Not only did he not meet with probation, he's not here. Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear.
Thank you, Your Honor. We too have not had any contact with him. Thank you.
Bond 5,000. I'll give a 10% privilege. That warrant will issue immediately. Court calls case, People versus Natasha Mitchell.
Christine Rodriguez, this is a public defender on behalf of Natasha Mitchell. Ms. Mitchell, can you please state your name, please?
No, she's here. There she is.
Natasha Mitchell. Sorry, I'm at work.
You're at work now. It's okay. It's all right.
Yes, it's
Okay, where are we on this one?
Here we had the opportunity to go over the recommendation with Ms. Mitchell. It looks, give me just 1 second, I'm sorry. It looks like in the request that there was a request for 4 days in jail to report to the Washington County Jail today at 6 p.m. to get a scram tether placed on her, and that scram tether would remain on her until proof of intensive outpatient is provided to probation. I wanted to ask Your Honor today, if you would be willing to consider no upfront jail time if she were to report to community corrections today to get that scram tether placed.
I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead.
No. What were you going to say, Ms. Mitchell?
Well, so I didn't know anything about coming to get any tether, first of all. And if that can all be not something that I do, I mean, I've been blowing for probably, a year now. I have had some times where I've missed because of falling asleep or just simply forgetting.
Okay, so this is interesting. She does not want the tether. She doesn't not want the alcohol treatment, and that becomes relevant because it sort of goes sideways. And the judge sticks with that, but not the rest. It's interesting.
But every time she has blown, Your Honor, it's been...
I'm not even Yeah, I don't drink. That's not something that even.
I think she does.
That's why I'm in the situation I'm in now. So, please don't put me on tether. It's embarrassing enough have to blow when I do. Lord have mercy. Please give me some leniency.
Miss oh, she just got her for a chair. Miss Mitchell,
Yes.
how long have we been dealing with each other?
I don't know. It's been a long time, but I haven't seen you in a long time. It's been years since I've seen you. Maybe 10 years. I haven't even had so much as a ticket in 7 years. So like this was really just an unfortunate situation. I made a terrible decision by getting behind the wheel, of course, and trying to go get some food. I could have just got it delivered. That's what I should have
Miss
done.
Mitchell, if it's been all that long.
Yeah, that driving was the problem. If you would have just sat at home and drank, it wouldn't have been a problem. But the driving part, that was the issue.
Why do you think I remember you?
I'm a good person. I'm good people. That's why you remember
I didn't
me.
say you weren't. I'm just asking why you think I remember you?
Because you always was saying how my face was looking mean or how I always look mean, but I smile now. I don't.
Miss Mitchell, you remember that. You
Yes,
remember
I
me
do.
telling you that you always would appear before me with, you had a scowl.
I had an attitude. I had a very bad attitude.
Yes, you did. I'm glad you finally admit that. I kept telling you that. And
Yeah,
the one thing I told you, if you remember, I said, you are actually a much more pleasant person than you try to let on. And that when you would smile and just talk one-on-one, we were fine. But the moment that bad attitude happened, that became a mess. You remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have grown and I have my kid. It shows within my kids. I've grown. I have.
Because even when I thought I was beginning to take it personal. Because even when you showed back up on this case, you started that scowl again. And I'm like, I have not done anything.
Because I'm like,
and I don't know how long.
I never plan to be in front of your court ever again. That's why. And I'm like, here I am back in this man courtroom. All the judges I could have got. Judge Simpson.
Oh, you want somebody else. You didn't want me.
No, I just didn't want you to have to see me anymore. Like, I didn't want to see you no more.
And you know, the funny thing about it is, Ms. Mitchell, and I'll just tell you a little secret. I know you thought I did not like you, but I liked you.
True.
Huh?
This is true.
Yeah, you were angry at me and you thought I did not like you. And that, Ms. Mitchell, that could have been further from the truth. I just kept trying to figure out why she had that scowl. I told my mom today that I had to see you, and she was like, "Well, Judge Simpson he know you. She like, he got you." I'm like, we gonna see.
He goes full Judge Middleton here, and it's like, okay, he knows most of the people in the county at this point. He's been sitting on the bench so long.
So,
see, I like your mom. Yeah. Your mom understood then. I don't think you did.
No, I didn't want to understand.
You didn't want anybody understanding Natasha. You just you were going to be you. You were going to try to push your way through the whole world. And then you ran into Judge Simpson, and that just didn't work out too well.
No, it didn't.
Ms. Mitchell, it is nice to have this conversation with you. It really is. Because there was a time we did not talk to each other. I'd say something to her. She'd say good morning. All right. You know I'm right.
That's the old me. That's the old one.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna trust you. Okay. Let's see if we can get you through this, Miss Mitchell. Okay, because
I'm gonna
just
get
by
myself
virtue
together.
of what you said today, I think you changed from the last time that I saw you.
Absolutely.
You know, you even as you were getting on Zoom and the kind of apology that you were given because you were at work and weren't giving your full attention, that's wholly different than who you were before.
Well,
My
I'm glad you
bailiff
can see that.
bailiff is over here nodding because he even remembers.
I remember him
That's
too. I remember him too. He's been with you for a long time, for many years.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to do, Ms. Mitchell. Anything else you want to tell me before I impose sentence?
No.
All right. The court acknowledges this is not a serious misdemeanor as defined by statute. However, believes there are reasonable grounds to depart from the presumption of a non-probationary sentence. Particularly, the alcohol screening assessment identifies the benefit of intensive outpatient therapy and weekly AA meetings. Therefore, the court will follow the recommendation of probation to a probationary sentence with the rehabilitative goals to promote change, prevent recidivism, to monitor compliance of recommended treatment. It is therefore the sentence of the court. I'm going to place you on 24 months probation. You're going to pay $1,255 fines and court costs, $100 prosecution recovery costs, $100 police agency recovery costs, $720 probation oversight fees. When can you get that paid?
I can make a payment tomorrow. I would need some time.
How much? See, that's another thing. Miss Mitchell just asked me for time. That usually meant jail for her, but I think I know what she means this time.
No, it don't mean jail. It does not mean jail.
Okay. I just didn't know what you were asking me for. I thought you were just gonna get to the end like we used to. What will you have?
When you say what can I pay? How much? All of it, or?
All right. I realize you don't have all of it right now, right?
No. Okay. Correct.
Okay. So how much can you pay tomorrow?
$150.
All right. Then I want $150 by Friday the 12th. Right. That's a 12. And then the balance will be arranged by probation.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Just be nice to him. You saw what happened to the last guy.
Oh, I got you.
All right.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. There's to be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal substance. You'll be subject to random testing as requested by probation. You're to complete an intensive outpatient substance abuse program, including all aftercare with status reports to probation. You're to attend 2 AA meetings per week with monthly verification to probation. You're to provide proof of attendance at the victim's impact panel. You're to provide that to probation. You're on the sober link right now, right?
Yes.
I don't know why I'm doing this, but here's what I'm going to do, Ms. Mitchell. I'm going to continue on the sober link. All right. That will continue at least until there's proof of the intensive outpatient program.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
But you cannot miss any tests.
I won't. I
You
got alarm. I have
understand
alarm set. Yes. I will not miss any tests.
What I will do with regard to the last, I'm going to change the last recommendation. I'm going to order 365 days in jail. I'm going to give you credit for the 1 day that you served. In lieu of the 4 days, you'll at least continue on that sober link for a period of 30 days. I will suspend the balance. I will not have her report to jail at this time.
I found this sentence fascinating. Through this, I had the same problem, and I just think I think like Judge Simpson. I don't know, but I suspect she seriously has an alcohol problem because the way she was begging to not be on the tether and all that stuff. she says, I don't drink. I don't need any of this stuff. I've been going for years. Yeah, you've also missed some, and you missed some because you were drinking, not because you slept. Well, you might have slept because you were drinking. That is my suspicion. I don't know, but I think it's the judge's suspicion as well. So he's real nice. He does not. The attorney was surrendering her to jail for a 4-day sentence. And that was her opening position. He says, I don't really need you to go to jail, but what I do need you to do is keep monitoring, go to AA, and do all these other things. He's very nice about it, but he just kind of slides it in there because what he really wants is her alcohol use monitored. And he doesn't even like smack her over the head with it. He just subtly says, that's what we're doing here. And I think it's the right call.
Quite frankly, how we started out trying to deal with each other, I don't know why I'm doing this.
You
I
know
really
why?
don't.
Because you see it in me.
I know
That's
why you're doing it.
You see the growth. And I got you. I won't let you down. I appreciate you.
Miss Mitchell, the one thing you can do for me is tell your mom that she was right.
I will.
And you're right about that. I've always, from the first time we met, no matter how much we sort of locked horns, and there was always a battle you were going to lose, so it didn't matter. I did see it in you. And all we had to just do is wait for you to be able to show that promise. I don't know if you have yet, but I think you're well on your way to doing it. And I know that if I tell you to do this, you're going to do it and you're going to give your best shot at it.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So that's where I'm going to leave you. Miss Polera or Elin, if she even begins to mess up, come find me personally, because I'm going to get in my truck and we're going to go get her.
I will make note of that.
And she
That won't
does not
happen.
want me just rolling up on her, because I will.
I sure don't. I sure don't. Okay, have a good one. Be blessed, Justin.
Yes, you do the same, Miss Mitchell. Take care.
You do the same. Bye-bye.
Stop driving.
Court recalls the case to the people versus Michael.
I don't know how Judge Middleton got in there, but it was right on point. All right, so we have that was one attitude adjustment. He is trying to father her and give her some love. He's trying to give her the carrot and the stick here, and it was charming to watch. This one he gets a lot more stick, but at the end he's a softie here too, and it works.
Henson.
Fred Blackman on behalf of Mr. Henson. Mike, are you on?
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
He is.
I'm on.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Okay, there's Mr. Henson. All right. On this matter, go ahead, Miss Polera.
Yes, Your Honor.
Recommendation. He failed to complete the. Go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Henson is scheduled before the court for sentencing. He failed to complete the pre-sentence interview. Mr. Henson also failed to comply with the order of this court in that being placed on the sober link. He did go to community corrections, Your Honor. However, there was an email sent from community corrections that when Mr. Henson reported there, he was difficult with the agent and left with the device before finding out how it could be used. The court did respond back indicating if he missed even one test due to that, then a bench warrant would be issued, which this court did issue on June 22nd. He's not been testing, and that was issued with no bond. Given that, Your Honor, that he was non-compliant with what you told him to do with the sober link and him failing to complete the PSI, probation's recommending that Mr. Henson be remanded into custody until sentencing, that he report to the Washtenaw County Jail by 6 p.m., that the court adjourn his sentencing to August 24th, 2022 at 9 a.m., that he be re-referred for the PSI and pay a $75 re-referral fee today as well.
Counsel response.
Your Honor, I want to thank the probation department for sending me everything, and I talked with Mr. Henson on the phone before our hearing.
First of all, that probation agent is appropriately annoyed, and she's made her recommendations. She is not happy with the situation. This defense attorney does a fantastic job and helps him tremendously here
Today, and told him and went through the violation report with him. He would admit to that, fared on the sober link. We obviously have no objection to reaffirm and pay the $75 today. Judge, I've known Mr. Henson, God, for a lot of years. I know his family. I've represented him. Yeah, I think he trusts me, and I was yelling at him today, Judge, about what he's not done. I know his girlfriend has prior medical problems, and he has a full-time job. I'm wondering whether,
with the exception of that, you really don't, as a criminal defense attorney, say I've known this guy a long time. That's not a good endorsement.
whether or not the court at this time would consider a alcohol tether on him immediately placed on him. He tells me he's not drinking, but he has not complied. I understand that, Judge. I just would hate to have him lose his employment before the sentencing on this matter. And he does what I tell him to do, so I would make sure that he complied. Well, I'll do all my best efforts, Judge, to make him comply prior to the sentencing date. Thank you, sir.
So, Mr. Henson, what was your problem when you went over to community corrections and they were trying to explain to you how to use the device?
Your Honor, I had a bad month. My girlfriend had a hip replacement and they messed it up. Her one leg is now 3 inches longer. I'm not drinking or nothing. When I was
Ooh, that's rough. Hip replacement and a 3-inch disparity in legs. I think it might be time for a new girlfriend. I'm just saying.
on that tether that you gave me, I didn't violate or nothing. I haven't been doing nothing wrong but working. My girlfriend depends on me for all her money. I have to help her go to the bathroom and everything. I was just having a bad month. There's no reason why I should have did the PSI. I did lose my phone, and my car did break down. I didn't have it for like 3 weeks because the radiator, the company I was working for, went out of business, but I got unemployment with a guy that I used to work for, and I'm working like 70 hours a week. And
that's how I roll.
I don't have a problem going to anger management, doing anything you would like to do. We could restart it. I would be more than happy to do everything the court would like me to do.
Your Honor, I would also like to.
But you haven't done that. Go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor, I would also like to just apprise the court that he was also difficult with the probation coordinator when he called here indicating that he was being railroaded and he was already sentenced. So he was also difficult with Elin in my office when she was trying to assist him to get the packet together, just so the court's aware of that.
Anything you want to say about that, Mr. Henson?
I never went to the office. I talked on the phone. I was just having a bad month. Everything was crashing down in front of me. The company I was working for went out of business. I did land another job right away. My girlfriend's she can't walk after she had her hip replacement. She depends on me for everything. I don't want to apologize for that. I didn't verbally. I wasn't cussing or nothing. I was just frustrated because I'm almost 60 years old and I've never went through this before, so I didn't know how everything was working, and I didn't really understand it. I understand it now. Mr. Blackman helped me out and told me what I have to do, and he said it'd be easy for me to do it. It's not a problem. And Your Honor, I was very, very on that tether that you had put on me. I did everything I had to, and like I said, you give me another chance, I would do everything again. The court would be very happy with me.
But Mr. Henson, why should I give you another chance? I send you over to the fine folks at Community Corrections. You give them a hard time. You are supposed to talk to my probation agent. You give my probation agent a hard time. And I'm just going to be honest with you. Anybody that knows Mr. Henson, anybody that knows me knows this. The folks that work around me, I expect a certain amount or certain things from them in terms of how they deal with the public. But the trade-off for that is I let no one disrespect them ever.
Right. I apologize from the bottom of my heart.
It doesn't happen. No, you can apologize all you want. If you were having difficulties, the thing about the people in my probation department particularly is they would walk you through that, whatever it was. And the people that have dealt with them over the years, they know they will respond that way. But you've been to 2 agencies here and have disrespected and then didn't follow my order.
No, I just went to community corrections. I didn't go to, I never been to the probation, Your Honor. I talked to somebody on the phone.
I know. That's where you did what you did.
Yeah. Well, I just want to I apologize from the bottom of my heart. I would love a second chance.
Yeah, now that
so
you
I can continue working.
You know what? I get a lot of people that apologize to me once all of a sudden they got a warrant with no bond. And if I have to go get you, I will. The one thing you can count on is I'm a man of my word.
I understand.
And the other part of that is, though, that, you can apologize now. People always apologize. They get a warrant. All of a sudden, they're real sympathetic about what they've done. All of a sudden, they see a recommendation where somebody's supposed to go to jail, and oh my goodness, all the apologies known to mankind all of a sudden come out of their mouths.
I believe that.
And that's what
the defendant is contrite enough to get done what he needs to get done here, and I do give him credit for that. He is smart. His attorney is good, and he's made a lot of mistakes, but he just sits here and takes this pummeling, and it's exactly what he needed to do.
I'm hearing today.
I
don't have a doubt that counsel's going to try to do his best, but you've not given me a reason to do anything favorable for you at all.
You'd be helping my family out to continue to let me work and pay the bills to help her out.
Here's the thing. While I care and I'm concerned about that, the primary care of your family is you.
Yes, sir.
And you messed it up.
Yes, I did.
That's on you. With the hundreds of people that my probation department sees with all kinds of issues. Too many. I don't get reports like I'm getting about how they're treated by somebody. Like I've got about you today.
Yes, Your Honor. My short temper frustration will never happen again.
Here's the way we're going to do it. Because again, your apologies are falling on deaf ears to me. It's one thing to have a bad day and you go in and you deal with the people at community correction and you deal with them that way, but then somebody else deals with you and, you do whatever.
I actually had a good rapport with Brian at community corrections. Me and him got along great. I talked to him a bunch of times, and me and him have a great.
Once you got it straight, oh, yeah. Now,
so Brian's cool, but the rest of those
understand something. They are much, and even my probation staff, they are much more forgiving than I am.
I understand.
I'm going to re-refer the defendant to probation for a PSI. You are to pay a $75 re-referral fee. When can you get that paid?
As soon as if I get off work today, I can pay it. I have it on me right now, sir. Sir, if you like, I take off work tomorrow and come there and pay everything.
You're really trying to do his best to stay out of jail. Probably should have thought about that before he started talking to folks. So here's what I'm going to do. I am gonna, at this point, order the defendant's remand to custody until sentencing. He's to report to the Washington County Jail by 6 p.m. I'm going to adjourn his sentencing to the 24th. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put you into the probation intake room. And Ms. Polera, if you have to leave rather than Elin dealing with it, that's fine too. And I'm going to let you start the process of talking to probation.
Okay, so he's a big softy. He's about to give him a huge break, and it just takes this guy forever to figure it out.
Let's see how you do that. The person that's going to determine, and understand this, Mr. Henson, the person that's going to determine, because I've already ordered what I'm going to order. The only person that's going to save you right now is going to be Ms. Polera in probation. They're going to have to come back in and tell me that they would trust you enough and really believe you enough that you shouldn't go to jail today. If they come back and tell me nothing, or that you acted like the fool that you did the first time you ran into them, you're going today. And if you don't report, you bank on this with me, that I will come find you.
Your Honor, I have to go there. I'm at work today in Royal Oak in tearing down the building. I have to go up to
my officers travel.
No, I mean,
I don't have a problem finding you.
I didn't hear you.
I love that. My officers travel. We'll get you. Don't worry.
I need to show up today, sir.
No, Mike, listen.
You are going to go into a breakout room.
Oh, I didn't hear. I couldn't hear.
You're going to go into a breakout room with probation. We're going to start your probation appointment. You're going to then, unlike most, I'd let them go. You're going to come back into the courtroom and then determine whether or not you need to report to jail by 6. As of right now, you need to report by 6.
Okay.
But it's going to depend on what probation tells me.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
You follow what I'm saying? Because I want it real clear.
Yes, I do.
Go in there and act a fool, you're going.
I understand.
I can't put it any other way. I'm just going to put it in this colloquial. You go in there and do that, you're going. And I may not give you till 6. I will send somebody to get you.
Okay, I understand. Thank you, Your Honor.
Counsel, did you want to go into the breakout room with him? We usually don't have counsel go in, but he may need a check because he's worked himself up into a whole thing.
Judge, I have told him before that he better be nice and he better be on his best behavior. So I don't need to do that, but Your Honor, I do have to ask you one question.
Yes,
I have to leave my office and go to Jackson County. I got to be down there. Should I get back on Zoom later, or do I need to?
You don't need to. I have issued the order of jail. The only thing is, if he can behave himself, if something more favorable happens.
I know. I've heard all that, Judge. Yeah, I did hear that. And so
this judge gets it. The attorney gets it completely. He saved his client's butt by prepping him for the hearing and his contrition the entire time. The judge respects him, although I think they're new to each other. They get it. They get each other. He understands what's going on. And that really saved Michael Henson's behind today.
So I would tell Mike on the record, it's all on you, Mike, right now.
And I can email the attorney, Your Honor, if something changes.
Okay, and I appreciate that.
All right, very good.
Thank you, guys.
We can be helpful if you act right. Okay. All right.
It's very nice meeting you, Judge.
Good meeting you too, sir. Mr. Henson, you stay right there. We're going to put you into a breakout room. You want me, Ms. Blair, where do you want me to put him?
Please put him in the intake. Correct, Your Honor, and then I will. Okay.
All right. Thank you. So you put Mr. Henson into the intake, and then we'll. All right. Thank you, Mr. Blair. Take care.
Thank you.
Court recalls the case of People versus Susan Jones.
Christine Rodriguez, Assistant Public Defender, on behalf of Susan Jones. Ms. Jones, can you please state your name for the record?
Yes, I'm Susan Jones.
Your Honor, we had an opportunity to go over the PSI report with Ms. Jones as well as a recommendation. We have no additions or deletions.
Okay, so you all saw this. He puts him he puts the defendant in with a probation officer that it was rude to, and he's like, you better make her happy somehow, and we'll see how he did.
To the report itself, we ask the court to adopt the recommendation as it is.
All right. Ms. Jones, is there anything you want to tell the court before I impose sentence?
No, I think I understand now.
973-4545. Or you can use the QR code that's on the screen and pay that. But you would want to wait, give it a couple hours and do that.
Okay. Thank you for everything.
All right. What I will do with reference to the bench warrant, then once you get verification of that, you can let me know. That's okay. We call the case of People versus Henson.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I thought I edited that.
Yes, Your Honor. Is Mr. Henson
There's
back?
Mr. Henson.
We'll get there. Apparently, I left.
Oh, there he is. You're muted, Mr. Henson.
About now?
Yeah, you're okay.
Okay.
Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Henson did communicate with Elin about completing the PSI. I will note it for the court that he did apologize to Elin profusely for his actions when talking to her that day. We do have a plan in place. Given that Mr. Henson did show up today to court, and he was on that GPS tether and was compliant with Mr. Levitt at Community Corrections while he was on the GPS. However, not so much when he was getting directions from the Sober Link. I would ask the court to give Mr. Henson a chance to try to do his PSI appointment without remanding him to jail. However, probation would recommend that he pay that $75 re-referral fee today, that he contact Mr. Levitt at 10 a.m. tomorrow by telephone. He will get instructions on how to use that Sober Link that he has in his possession that he has not been using. And I would also ask that the court leave that bench warrant with no bond in place until probation can confirm that that appointment took place with Mr. Levitt and that the PSI gets completed. Once both are done, that the bench warrant could be recalled and we would continue with sentencing on August 24th.
All right. What I will do with reference to the bench warrant, then once you get verification of that, you can let me know. We'll recall the bench warrant, but I agree that'll remain in place. So the defendant is referred to probation. You're to pay that $75 referral fee.
Yes, Your Honor.
I will not at this time remand you. I will not remand you to jail at this time. I will adjourn your sentencing to August 24th, 2022 at 9 a.m. And you are to contact Community Corrections for instructions as directed for use of that Sober line.
Can I say something, Your Honor? Thank you for doing that for me. I had it was very nice talking to the lady that I was. It was nice to apologize to her, and that was all because you let me do that. Thank you.
Your Honor, I would ask that he do that to Mr.
They're all weak. Go ahead, Ms. Blair.
I would also ask that he do that to Mr. Levitt when he talks to him tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
And you are to call him, Mr. Henson.
Yes. Can I have the probation numbers? Because I'm going to do the PSI as soon as I get off work today because they emailed it to me. Can I have your guys' phone number?
You got a pen?
Yes, ma'am.
I meant to cut this
734 973 4883.
973
dox the probation department.
83. It's in the email, Mr. Henson.
Oh, it's in the email?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So I can do everything today and then call Brian tomorrow. How do I pay the 75? I have that money on me. Where do I pay that at?
You're going to call the court?
Yeah.
Mr. Henson, you can call the court, 973-4545. Or you can use the QR code that's on the screen and pay that. But you would want to wait, give it a couple hours and do that.
Okay. Thank you for everything, ma'am. I don't know your name. Thank you very much.
It's Miss Polera.
Thank you, Miss Polera. I appreciate it.
I really like, ma'am, I don't know your name. Thank you very much. I'm going to use that.
everything you did for me today.
Follow through.
As long as you say that name respectfully, you'll be in good shape, young man.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Take care. You're welcome.
All right. Have a good day,
All right.
everybody.
Yep. Do the same. Folks, that last block was something else.
Well, there you have it. There you have it. We had 2 updates early, 2 defendants, follow-up appearances. Neither of them have learned anything. And then we had 2 very different attitude adjustments. One over the course of like a decade, and then this one in the course of one exact hearing. It did work. He put a pile of consequences over him and said, "Why don't you go ahead and talk to the probation agent again?" And then let's see, or that or go to jail. Let's see if you can get through that conversation. And between his attorney and that pressure, the defendant did the right thing. He did. So I thought that was fun. I didn't mean to. I meant to give Judge Simpson the day off, but I got pushed into there, and then I fell in the rabbit hole, and then those were the clips I had. Thank you all for coming out. I don't know. I might try to. For whatever reason, I don't know why, but this landlord-tenant dispute, this Vaughn landlord-tenant dispute in front of Marable, I might get that tomorrow. I don't know if it'll be a good hearing, though. But Marable set that over for 48 hours. It's up tomorrow at 11, but 10 my time. I don't know. We'll see if there's something there. I have thinking about streaming it. I've got 2 appearances. I don't know if they conflict as I sit here. If not, maybe I'll record it and do it as a Friday happy hour. I don't know. Whatever. Either way, I'll see you soon. Thank you all.